Hey folks, Dave here. Let's see what this is a couple things. I'd like to update you on the response from the video I posted last week. And I want to talk about, I guess, my progress on videos in general, and then the possibility of a Q&A. First off, I would like to thank everyone who commented on my last video when I asked you fine folks for feedback. I got a better idea of, I guess, what you like and what I want to do with the channel. So what I'm going to do for the immediate future is I'm going to go back to my impressions format. You may have noticed that I've already posted 2 of those in the last week. And I'm going to be working on critiques in between. Now, I've already had an issue with, it's always been an issue about how do I balance my time between the 2 projects. The best answer I have at the moment is alternating between like a day where I work on impression videos and a day where I work on critique videos, but there have been complications with that setup, which I will get into a little later. Hopefully this video will not go on as long as last video, but we shall see. So, one of the things I asked was about the name of the channel, how I felt the name Dave Talks Video Games was rather generic, and I'd like something a little new or a little more appropriate. But then thinking more about it, especially near the end of the last video when I was talking about my old Monday Musings weekly wrap-up that I used to do on my blog and how maybe I should reappropriate that for video format. No, it's not you, dear viewer. There is a bird in the tree outside my window that is singing a delightful, if distracting song, yes. So if I keep having my train of thought interrupted, the bird's to blame. Okay, so where was I? Ah, yes, the name, Dave Talks Video Games. So I thought, yeah, why don't, actually, instead of maybe thinking of a new name, why don't I lean into that name and make this talking to video a more regular part of the channel. Now, I know I said that in my State of the Channel address back in like 2017. I even recorded this whole video where I was talking about how I perceive difficulty in games, because yes, believe it or not, the even back in 2017, are games easy or too difficult debate was raging on and quite heated. I think that was when Cuphead got released, so there was a lot of that toxic discussion being had. And I wrote I didn't write a big video. I talked a big video about that. And then I got to editing it because I wanted to do the thing where I had like images in the corner there. And, so when I talk about topic or, certain games, they would pop up there. And the editing was quite intensive. And then listening back to my thoughts, I wasn't happy with the content versus how long it would take to actually make that happen. So I shelved the project. And then longtime viewers might have remembered that throughout 2018, I actually started appearing on camera before and after the meat of my impressions videos. So that was my compromise then. But I'd like to just, talk to mono, computer to computer, as it were. And maybe this is the best way to do it. Now, there are a couple ideas behind that. I want to ask you, how regularly you would like one of these. Like, would you like maybe a weekly video or would you like perhaps a monthly video? Those are the 2 options I'm thinking of at the moment. What I want to do in these videos, I want to give updates on my progress with videos, maybe tell you what's coming in the next week, how far along I am on the latest critique, what I've been playing, that sort of thing. To get those interested more in on the ground floor about my creative process, and maybe when I'm talking to you viewers about how I'm doing in regards to my critiques, it will what's the word? It will motivate me a little more to get them done. Can't think of exactly the words I want to say, so we'll come back to that. Second thing about the videos, I'd like them to maybe be a Q&A, whereas maybe I either answer a couple questions that people are interested in hearing my opinions on, or if you'd like to know more about me and my gameplay and habits and history and all that jazz, or I tackle a big topic and then I talk about that off the cuff, as it were. Back when I did that difficulty video, I tried to read as much as I could on the subject. And who knows, if I feel the topic warrants it, maybe I'll go research as well. But I think there is value to just talking about my opinion without preparation, because I read Critical Distance each week. I spend time on the internet, so I'm kind of usually aware about what's going on in terms of gaming, as well as everything else that's going on. Yeesh. Okay. So yes, if you'd like to hear some Q&A, please let me know some questions you would like answered in the comments, along with any other thoughts you have about this video. So, progress. Okay. As you can see in the background, I'm playing some footage of my Dark Souls playthrough. Now, I actually have not touched this game for about a week. And you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because I'm fighting Ornstein and Smough, probably one of the most infamous fights in the game. And I don't know, it's just like every day when I'm like, I should play some Dark Souls, I need to continue playing Dark Souls, I think about that's what I have to do. It's not like there was a part earlier in the game when I was having trouble with the Capra Demon, and after getting my ass handed to me quite handily by it, I decided to go and explore the Darkroot Garden, because that was another area I could go spend some time in. And when I did, I was able to level up a bit and gain some new gear. And then when I went back to fight the Capra Demon, I just spanked it first try. It was great. But here with Ornstein and Smough, I explored the entirety of the, I guess, chapel they reside in, and all I have left to do is try and get through. Now, it's not that I'm getting my ass handed to me per se. I fought them 3 times so far, and on the 3rd time, I think I got very close. All 3 times I've managed to actually, no, I think I fought them more than 3 times, yeah. But I think in every time but one, I've managed to kill one of them so they fuse, and then you have to fight a giant combined one. And I always seem to kill Smough first. He's the big one. So I get a Super Ornstein. And I've been learning to deal with Super Ornstein. And yeah, I think I got him down to about a 1/3 last time. I'd have to check the tape, because I recorded everything. But yeah, so long story short, every time I go to play the game, I'm like, oh, do I really want to fight them again? But just gotta do it. And I'm sure once I do, the game will open up again. A lot more of the tension and joy of exploration, which at the moment I think is kind of the core to what makes the game interesting, will reveal itself once I got to go off and accomplish whatever the next task in the game is. On the impressions front, on Friday night, I played a couple other games, 2 of them in fact, short 30-minute impressions Ah, my screensaver has gone on. I didn't think about that playing the video would not be enough to halt it turning on after about 10 minutes or so. In the future, if I want video playing in the background, I have to turn my screensaver off. But then, boy, I remember to turn it on again. Decisions. Well, we started off with some Dark Souls video, and now there's a swirly thing in the background. There's movement. That's what matters, right? So the two impressions videos I played on Friday night were What the Golf and Lonely Mountains Downhill. I hope to write the scripts for those either today or tomorrow. I'm sure they won't take too long, and have both those videos out in the coming week. And then I get to decide a whole new batch of what I want to cover again for the future. Now, there's this, how to put it? Okay, there's a list of games, like significant games, indie games from 2019, which I've been slowly making my way through because I want to experience them. Both those games are on that list, as have been. A lot of other games I've been playing in the last 6 months have been on that list as well. Pretty much, if any game I played in the last 6 months have been from 2019, chances are it's been on this list. And I've only got like 3 or 4 games left on that list, and I wonder if I should maybe just knuckle down and get through that list before, going back into my deeper backlog, which is where games like Trine come from, or, making use of Xbox Game Pass, which is another list I like to pull from. And then, beside those lists, I've got a frightening amount of games queued up, just, I bought in sales, or the games I've been recommended to me. So I'm like, yeah, I got to play those at some time. Or, I've still got a huge chunk of those games from Humble Monthly back when I used to subscribe to that. The list runs deep. Basically, if I were not to buy another game starting tomorrow, I could probably keep this channel going just on impressions videos for years to come. But as you all know, gotta play the new and shiny, because it's new and shiny. New game comes out, people talk about it, it looks good, I want to play it, especially me, because that's basically the impressions thing. I don't want to play through a whole game. I might get bored playing a whole game. I want to play something new. I want to have a new experience, have some fun with it, and then move on to the next thing. And suddenly, if something really triggers something where I'm like, ooh, that game's interesting, I'd like to know more, that's when I want to make a critique. And sometimes that can be difficult, even playing through the game. I need breaks, or like what's happening with Dark Souls at the moment. I get intimidated and I don't want to go back for a while. So finally, I thought about, seeing I don't have any Q&A questions and I still like to talk about something. I thought, what's going on at the moment? It's November, so usually this is when most of the big game releases come out. Of course, the big one of this last quarter, Cyberpunk, has been moved to December. So that'll be a crazy December to talk about. No, but the big releases of November are, of course, the new consoles. We're entering a new generation. We got the PS5 and the Xbox One X coming out. The Xbox X. Series X? What is that thing called? Confusing names. See, PS5's easy. I know where I stand with that. Silly Microsoft. But yeah, so both of those are coming out. Now, I'm not getting either, and there are 2 reasons I'm not getting either. One of them is, to get a launch console, I would have had to pop down a pre-order like 8 a.m. the day pre-orders went online. There was no way that was ever happening. So regardless of my desire to purchase a console, I would have to wait till next year anyway. But there's a thing I've been doing for the last 3 months, where anytime a game comes out that I'm like, ooh, I'd really like to play that, I've started to go, hey, you know what? You've got more than enough on your plate at the moment, Dave. Why don't you at least write down like the month the game came out, but stick a 2021 on that. So next year, when that month hits, if you're still interested in that game, that's when you can pick it up and maybe make an impressions video of. It's a patient gamer mentality. You might have heard that term before. There's a popular subreddit called Patient Gamers I'm a part of. It's usually people playing games that are years old and go, I just played this awesome game. It was awesome. It's fun to read, you know. I like the idea because I've always been trying to break out of the hype cycle. That's one reason I'd like to wait a year now. Every time I bought into the hype cycle, you know, the game has never met up to the hype. Every time I've tried to do an impressions video of a new game that's come out because I think, oh, I'll hit the algorithm and I'll get a bunch of views because people are talking about that game. That never happens. So I think it's more, you know, I've got plenty enough to enjoy now. This looks good, but let's see how I think about it in a year. Let's let some time pass, you know. Let's see what happens, you know. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I think that's what I'm trying to do with the consoles as well. Out of the two, I would really like a PS5. Two reasons at the moment. I love to play that Demon Souls remake. That looks great. The only Souls game I've ever completed is Demon Souls. If you haven't seen my critique on Demon Souls, I recommend it. Actually, that's been getting a lot of views lately because I think over the past few months, people have been searching Demon Souls and people are just stumbling upon my videos. So hooray! For once, you know, like whatever is trending in gaming is actually hitting my channel. I mean, the views aren't like spectacular. I'm not getting, you know, hundreds upon hundreds. Although I guess I am. I'm getting like, you know, 40 to 60 views every 2 days. I guess that's 20 to 30 views a day. You know, that's nothing to sneeze at. That adds up rather quickly. It's over the last month or two, it's really been spiraling to one of my top videos. You know, like the Killer 7 video, that slowly reaches. I get like 10 views on that every day. But yeah, that Demon Souls one is popped ahead. Anyway, yeah, I'd love to play the remake. You know, I just watched the new gameplay trailer the other day, and it was like, oh my goodness, that looks amazing. Because, you know, everything in it, I was like, oh, I know that. Yeah, there is a nostalgia to it, or a comfort in, you know, not only having a familiarity with the game, but then seeing where it's different. I'm reminded of the first time I played the Resident Evil remake when it came out for the GameCube. Years before, I remember I'd gone back to the US for, I think, a Christmas vacation. And my good friend Ryan from when I was growing up, he had a PS1 and we rented Resident Evil. And we spent pretty much all night completing that game. And then, like, when I woke up in the morning, he was playing the demo disc for Resident Evil 2. Yeah, it must have been the director's cut of Resident Evil, because I think that was the game that had the demo disc for Resident Evil 2. And so, you know, I was quite familiar with Resident Evil, and most people who play that game remember the infamous dog hallway. And it was just the greatest thing. Helicopters! Woo! So where was I? See, I'm so easily derailed. This is why noise is a problem for me. Yes, dog hallway. So I was just so happy when I played the remake for the first time, and then I go to run down the dog hallway because I expect the dogs to smash through the window, and I hear a bark. And I hear a thud, then a little chink of glass just comes out of the window, and oh, did I laugh. It was amazing. It was like, oh, you're subverting my expectations. Wonderful game, wonderful. And then, you know, for the rest of the game, I'd gone through that dog hallway a number of times. And then, God, I can't remember how long into the game it was, but pretty much like my 10th or 11th time through the hallway, I'm running through, and boom, Dogs burst through the window. I scream. I run. That's a memory I'll always keep with me. Yeah, so I wonder if there will be any fake outs like that in the new one. And then, of course, the second reason I would love to get a PS5 is just I do not have a PS4. I've missed an entire generation of console exclusives and better running versions of third-party games. So that will be really cool to catch up on all of that. But again, we'll see what happens in a year. I'm going to wrap up now. Thanks for watching if you've made it this far. I believe this is pretty much just as long as the last video, maybe a little less. Was the last one 25? Maybe 25. Once again, please tell me what you thought of this in the comments. Tell me if you'd like to see these more regularly and how regularly you would like to see them. If you would like me to answer some questions, please put those questions in the comments. And if I like the questions, I mean, you know, if they're rude or too intrusive, I'll just ignore you. But if I like the questions, I'll collect them and I'll do another one of these next time I feel I should do another one of those. So till then, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.